exchange for free rent. In my old life, you couldn't pay me to stay here for one night. But that life is so far away. It's like it never happened. Like leftover wisps of a dream you try to hold on to and remember when you wake up, but they float through your fingers. When I saw the ad, I took it. Because what choice did I really have? A red flag, my dad said. A man who doesn't believe in marriage but will live with you and play house? Reddest of all the ready red flags, Cass. I argued it was noble, because Reed thinks marriage is a sexist construct, and we don't need a piece of paper to prove our love. My dad sprayed a sip of beer out through his nose on that one. And he was right about it all. I have no protection now. I didn't work the last few years because that was how we both liked it. I was able to volunteer and cook my way through Julia Child's cookbook like someone in a movie. He liked the way it looked, that he was a big-wig realtor who could support us both. And he liked his crepe Suzette and quiche Lorraine ready to eat when he got home. It worked. There is nothing wrong with that, I told myself. And then it stopped working. And I have no job or money. And although I think I had every right to punch him in the back of the head when I discovered them at a restaurant together, discovered he was cheating with my own eyes, I made it worse. Because there were no late-night crying arguments or discussions about how we'd get through this. No sobbing apologies or denials on his part, begging me to stay and telling me it didn't mean anything. Just an eviction and a cold shoulder. After 6 years together. It was over just like that. I usually have to sit with my head between my knees for a minute to avoid hyperventilating when I think about this too long. But today is a numb day, so I don't have the energy to look at Kimmy's Instagram. Well, okay. I peek at it for just a few minutes to see if there is anything new. The numbness turns into a tapping up my spine that feels something like rage when I see her in her white puffer coat and ice skates laced up, standing next to my person, my Reed, not hers. How is this possible? They're holding 2 candy canes together, making the shape of a heart. Gag. They're smiling at the camera, rosy-cheeked and glittery-eyed. She looks more like his daughter than his new lover. Okay, I'm being an asshole. I'm sure she's at least legal because Reed is very informed on legal matters of all sorts, which is why he was so prepared to screw me out of everything and even write up an official eviction letter from his house with 30 days' notice when I refused to leave. Fun times at Deerhead Lodge, the caption reads. I vibrate with fury. But before I can do anything, like maybe drive to the lodge like a psychopath and push Kimmy from a ski lift and watch her plummet to her death, maybe get impaled by a candy cane if I'm lucky, my phone buzzes. It's a tenant. Mary Hiddleman from 109. And I have to take the call and fix whatever problem she has this time because as much as it pains me to say, I need the job. Where else can I go? I quickly run over all my options in my mind, the way I often do, and always come to the same conclusion. I lost touch with my actual friends years ago when I met Reed, and they're married with families for the most part. They don't want some loser on their couch. My father's a drunk who rents a room in his buddy Oscar's basement, and our mutual friends sided with Reed. He was expert at making me look like this was all my fault, from the crumbling of our relationship to the restaurant assault. So, I'm here now. I'm somehow the caretaker of the Sycamore Apartments, and I'm trapped. Mary calls for me to come in when I knock. Her apartment is mostly dark, lit only by a droopy string of Christmas lights loosely draped around the front window and flickering light from the television. The shopping network is selling adult onesies that look like giant, creepy gingerbread people. Mary's in slipper socks and a threadbare housecoat that in her braless state leaves little to the imagination. She sits in her rocker recliner with her legs spread open, chatting to the TV about the economy and the ridiculous prices they're charging for adult pajamas. I see London, I see France, Mare, I say matter-of-factly, and she closes her legs and gives me a dismissive wave of her hand. A cigarette hangs from her lips, and she points in the direction of the tiny kitchen.